Welcome to Green Card Easy. In this video, we will take you step by step through everything you need to know to study in the United States. We've broken down your student journey into easy to follow steps. We will cover what you need to do right from picking the universities all the way to getting you started at your dream university. We want you to enjoy this video without any distractions. Don't worry about taking notes. All this information is available for free in greater detail on greencardeasy.net. We'll reference different pages during the video, and you can find links to them in the description. So without further ado, let's get started. Your first step on your student journey is to choose a major. A major is simply the field of study that you will focus on during your degree. Examples include computer science, business administration, and math. Your goal is to identify 2 to 3 majors, so let's take a closer look at how to narrow down your choices. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. First is to visit 10 to 15 university websites. By doing this, you will start to get a general feel for different types of universities. The second is to explore majors. Once you've done this, you should be able to identify a major you're interested in. The third is to understand curriculum details. Take a deeper dive to ensure the major you're interested in includes the classes you want to take. And fourth and final item for this step is to narrow it down to 2 to 3 majors that align closest to the area of study of your interest. This takes care of the first step. Step 2 on your student journey is to choose universities. Your goal is to find universities that are the right fit for you. Think about factors such as whether the university has a good reputation, a diverse student body, and a good job placement program for the major you've selected. There are 2 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to research universities for your selected bachelor's or master's program. The second and final item is to narrow down your search to 12 universities. Your list should include 4 top-ranked, 4 medium-ranked, and 4 low-ranked universities. This takes care of the second step. Step 3 on your student journey is to complete your standardized test. SAT for your bachelor's degree, GRE or GMAT for your master's degree. Your goal is to send your scores to the universities. Visit the Choose Universities page on our website for tips on how to send your scores to universities for free. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to prepare for your test. The second is to schedule your SAT, GRE, or GMAT. The third is to take the test. And the fourth and final item is to send your scores to the universities you chose previously for free. This takes care of the third step. Step 4 on your student journey is to complete your TOEFL or IELTS exam. You may not need to take this test depending on your nationality or previous education. Your goal is to send your scores to universities as you did in the previous step. Check out the test, TOEFL, IELTS page on our website for tips on how to send your scores to universities for free. This takes care of the 4th step. Step 5 on your student journey is to prepare university applications. Applications take several months to complete. You will submit your applications after completing the upcoming steps. Your goal in this step is to start your online university applications. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to finalize 8 schools. This will help you apply to schools where you will have the best chance of being accepted. The second is to note your required documents so that they will be easy to produce when needed. And the third and final item is to begin filling out your applications. This takes care of the 5th step. Step 6 on your student journey is to create your Statement of Purpose, commonly referred to as SOP. An SOP is where you tell the admissions committee about yourself, your academic interest, and the value you would add to the program you're applying to. Some colleges may also ask you to submit a resume or CV. Your goal is to have these documents printed and ready to go. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to create a draft. The second one is to review with an expert. The third one is to make revisions and finalize them. And the fourth and final one is to print multiple copies, depending on the number of universities that you're applying to. This takes care of the sixth step. Step 7 on your student journey is to collect letters of recommendation. It is a letter from a qualified person, such as a professor or a manager, who can vouch for your skill, performance, and character. A strong letter of recommendation can help your candidacy significantly. Your goal is to gather letters of recommendation. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to identify and seek out individuals who can provide a strong recommendation for you. The second one is to follow up regularly. The third and final one is to receive letters of recommendation. This takes care of the 7th step. Step 8 on your student journey is to request your transcripts, which is another word for your educational records. Typically, these would be your college records if you're applying to a graduate program, or high school records for an undergraduate program. Your goal is to request your transcripts and send them to the universities that you're applying to. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to check with your college or high school administration to understand the process of requesting transcripts. The second one is to request transcripts. The third one is to send your transcripts to the universities before the deadline. The fourth and final one is to make sure the universities have received your transcripts. This takes care of the 8th step. Step 9 on your student journey is to send your test scores to the universities you are applying to. This one is relatively easy. You can do this through the website of the standardized test that you've taken. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to learn how to send test scores to the universities. The second one is to send your GRE, GMAT, or SAT scores. And the third and final one is to send TOEFL or IELTS score unless you have a waiver. This takes care of your 9th step. Step 10 on your student journey is to prove solvency. It means showing a sponsor who can pay for your education and living expenses. Typically, parents are sponsors. Your goal is to work with your sponsor to get the necessary documents ready. There are 2 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is getting a letter from your sponsor. The second and final one is to gather documents that show your assets and liquidity. This takes care of the 10th step. Step 11 on your student journey is to submit your university applications. In the last few steps, you've put together documents needed to support your applications. Your goal is to complete and submit your applications. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to finish your applications. The second one is to review your applications for accuracy. The third one is to pay application fees. And the fourth and final one is to submit your applications. This takes care of the 11th step. This is a significant milestone in your student journey. Remember to celebrate. You've earned it. Step 12 on your student journey is to create an immunization plan. United States immigration law requires visa applicants to obtain specific vaccines before issuing a visa. Your goal is to meet with your doctor to create an immunization plan. Remember, getting started on time can save you hundreds of dollars. Don't ignore it. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to visit the government website. We've included the link on our website. The second one is to print the list of required immunizations. And the third and final one is to meet with your doctor to create an immunization plan. This takes care of the 12th step. After this step, you will have a well-deserved break for a few months. Step 13 on your student journey is to get familiar with the visa application process. Most full-time students will need an F1 visa, but it's essential to confirm the visa type you will need. Your goal is to identify the correct student visa type for you. There are 2 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to understand the visa application process. The second and final one is to confirm you need an F1 visa for your study program. This takes care of the 13th step. Step 14 on your student journey is to gather financial documents. These are the documents that you will need to bring with you for your visa interview, as a visa officer may ask you to show them. Your goal is to ensure all your financial documents are ready. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to get your affidavit letter. The second one is to show your statement of assets. The third one is to show liquidity through insolvent statements. And the fourth and final one is to show any approved student loans. This takes care of the 14th step. Step 15 on your student journey is to schedule your visa appointment. Most students apply around the same time, so there will be a rush to get an appointment. While most students get their visas on the first attempt, few need to make a second one. We've accounted for this scenario and listed the ideal timeframes on our website. Your goal is to book your appointment within our recommended timeframe. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to fill out the DS-160 application form. The second one is to pay the visa application fee. And the third and final one is to schedule an appointment and print out your confirmation letter. This takes care of the 15th step. Step 16 on your student journey is to prepare for your visa interview. There are common themes to how visa interviews are conducted. Preparing will definitely help. Your goal is to prepare well for your visa interview. We've listed frequently asked questions, or FAQs for short, on our website. Other members have also shared their visa interview experience in our community discussions. Be sure to take advantage of it. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to gather all your required documents. The second one is to review interview FAQs and prepare. And the third and final one is to submit all supporting documents. This takes care of the 16th step. Step 17 on your student journey is to give your visa interview. Many professional athletes approach a big championship game as if it were just another game. You should take the same approach for your visa interview. Your goal is to put your best foot forward and get your student visa. You've prepared so well. Be yourself, and everything will fall into place nicely. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to attend the interview. The second one is to receive your passport. The third one is to reapply if you do not get a visa. And the fourth and final one is to check your visa stamp for accuracy. This takes care of the 17th step. Step 18 on your student journey is to purchase your plane tickets. Shopping around for airfare can save you a decent chunk of money. As an example, some airlines allow students to check in an extra bag. Your goal is to get a good deal on a plane ticket. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is to find the nearest airport to your university. The second one is to shop around using 2 or 3 different sources. And the third and final one is to purchase your ticket. This takes care of the 18th step. Step 19 on your student journey is shopping. This is one of our favorite steps. After all, who doesn't like shopping? When you move to a different part of the world, you'll need a few things to make your new lifestyle comfortable. Remember, you don't need to bring everything you need from home. Some items will cost less to buy in your home country and others in the US. Your goal is to buy stuff that will get you started in the US. We've handpicked items in reputable stores that will save you money. Visit the shopping page on our website to learn more. There are 2 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is create a shopping list. The second and final one is get familiar with US stores and create accounts. This takes care of the 19th step. Step 20 on your student journey is health and immunization. You want to make sure you are current on your vaccines. Health insurance is also something you need to get upon arrival. Your goal is to complete all immunizations, print up-to-date records, and pay for insurance. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first one is visit the US government website for current information. The second one is to get any additional immunizations. The third one is to get immunization records from your doctor. And the fourth and final one is to pay for health insurance. This takes care of the 20th step. Step 21 on your student journey is to explore international student resources available to you. Your goal is to research what they are and find them to help you with your journey. International student organizations are a great way to make new friends and get valuable information. Besides, knowing other international students will help you adapt to your new life. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to research the International Student Office. The second is to get in touch with the International Student Association if you have not already. And the third and final item is to arrange for pickup service if available. Many colleges offer free pickup services from the airport, and you could save over $100. This takes care of the 21st step. Step 22 on your student journey is to research housing. Your goal is to find out if you're required to have on-campus housing or if you're allowed to live off-campus. Both options have their pros and cons, so be sure to research well and decide what's best for you. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to research on-campus housing. The second is to research off-campus housing. And the third and final item is to narrow down your search to 2 to 3 options and fill out your housing applications. This takes care of the 22nd step. Step 23 on your student journey is to exchange your local currency for US dollars. Your goal is to have enough money in US dollars to pay for travel, college fees, and other expenses. Opening a US bank account may take a few weeks, so plan ahead. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to research money exchanges to identify the ones that give you the best exchange rate and charge the least fees. The second is to secure enough cash for traveling and other expenses when you arrive to the US. The third and final item is to have your college fees ready in the form of payment accepted by your college. This takes care of the 23rd step. Step 24 on your student journey is to get ready for your departure. This is such a fun and exciting time. Your goal is to make sure you've packed per flight regulations and have everything you need. Travel can be stressful, but let's make sure it isn't for you. There are 3 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to make sure you know the number of bags you can bring and their weight limits. The second is to create an immigration document checklist. And the third and final item is to carry your cash, cards, and travel documents safely. This takes care of the 24th step. Step 25 on your student journey is to finalize your housing accommodations. Your goal is to sign your housing contract and get moved in. You want to make sure you have everything squared away before you get started with your classes. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to sign your housing contract. The second is to get moved in and settled. The third is to set up utilities and take care of other housing needs. And the fourth and final item is to set up home and go shopping for essentials. We've handpicked items in reputable stores that will save you money. Visit the Housing Accommodations page on our website to learn more. This takes care of the 25th step. Step 26 on your student journey is to visit your college campus. Your new life begins here. How exciting! You're going to spend a lot of time here and make lifelong friends. Your goal is to get familiar with your campus. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to tour the campus. The second is to explore your department. The third is to visit the library. And the fourth and final item is to apply for jobs. This takes care of the 26th step. Step 27 on your student journey is to plan your semester. This is your final step. You should plan what your semester looks like from an academic standpoint. You should participate in the extracurricular activities happening around campus and even join clubs that align with your interest. After all, the college experience is not just about academics. There are 4 items you need to check off your list to complete this step. The first is to research offered courses. The second is to find out the time and date for International Student Orientation. The third is to find out the time and date for the General Student Orientation. And the fourth and final item is to enroll in courses. This takes care of the 27th and final step. Congratulations on your accomplishments. This is a massive milestone in your life, so take some time to celebrate it. We wish you all the best, and remember to stay connected on our forums at greencardeasy.net and to share this information with your friends.